Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream. We are back again. It is Saturday. It is time to sit down on this wonderful chair and be live all day and all weekend for the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's right. We have a triple header up ahead here today. Starting off with the Carolina Hurricanes and the Ottawa Senators. Round 1, Game 4. And this series could be done by the time we are done with today. There could be 2 series that are done by the end of the day. See everybody here in the chat. What's up, JJ? How we doing? Daniel's here. It's the final countdown for the Sens. We'll have to see, bro. John's here. Todd's here. Davey's here. Jane is here. Everybody's popping out here in the chat. Good to see all you guys here. Yet again, it is Game 4 of Round 1 between the Senators and the Hurricanes, and it's win or go home for the Senators. If Carolina gets the win tonight, they will advance to the second round. And there may be a couple of days off for them, maybe not, because their opponent could be figured out tonight as well. What's up, Bon? How we doing? Welcome to the stream. Going to perform the national anthems here in just a moment. Starting goaltenders in net are the same as they've been throughout the entire series. It's Frederik Andersen versus Linus Ullmark. I have not seen anything that says otherwise. There was a bit of a discussion after the a bit of discussion yesterday that potentially it could be Brandon Bussey and then instead of Andersen, but they decided to roll with Andersen. So there you go. What's up, Benjamin? How we doing? Go Sens. Ever notice that Gritty's beer resembles a broom? I never thought about that, but I guess that's a good sentiment there. I like that. All right, national anthems currently going on here right now. So again, we're going to be live all day. We'll be live all day for all 3 of the games. Obviously, if a game goes to overtime, we will stream that as long as it goes, but we are starting off with this one today. Later on at 5:30 Eastern Time, we will go over to Wild and Stars. And then after that, we will go over to the Battle of Pennsylvania between the Flyers and the Penguins. Again, 2 series could come to a close tonight, and that could set up a second round between the Hurricanes and the Flyers if the series were to end today. But obviously, we will see. All right, national anthem currently going on right now. They just finished up the American anthem, and now we get ready here for the Canada anthem. Oh, Canada. Just updating my stuff over here. Let's go Flyers. Love to hear that. Hoping for the best later on today. That should be a very fun stream when we get to it. I've had the time of my life commentating that series. I'll tell you that right now. That series has been so much fun to commentate these entire playoffs. I've really enjoyed it. Apologies for last night. So last night, I pretty much right after I was done with all the commentaries, I fell asleep. So I forgot and I was unable to make the recap and the top performers for yesterday's games. I apologize for that for those who were looking forward to those videos. They will be out again tonight. We'll get back on schedule. But last night I was just so tired after the 3 games that I did. I just fell asleep. And I think, again, I definitely needed it because I overslept and did not go to my game today because I didn't wake up in time. So, yeah, I apologize for that. But we'll be back on track tonight. All right, the national anthem has concluded here in Ottawa for both the American and the Canadian anthem as well, and it sets the stage for Round 1, Game 4 between the Hurricanes and the Senators. Taking a look at your starting goaltenders here coming up in just a moment. It's going to be an electric one here tonight, and it could be a win to extend the series or a win to move on to the next round for each of these 2 teams. Ottawa looking to bring this series back to Carolina on Monday and try and fight to keep their season alive, while Carolina is looking to end the series here tonight and get ready for round 2. Starting goaltenders here in net for both sides, you have Frederik Andersen on one end for the Hurricanes, who has been phenomenal in this series. On the other end, we have Linus Ullmark, who has been just as good. Round 1, Game 4. It's win or go home for both of these teams. And we are ready to start. Hurricanes and Senators, and we are underway. Face-off is a tie-up then. It's won back by the Hurricanes, who will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Tyler Kleven battling for it then with Carrier. Jordan Staal down low in the corner. Carolina starts this one off. On the right side, getting to it then is Staal, fighting alongside the likes of Dylan Cousins. Down low, Carrier gets it back then, puts a shot on Ullmark. It goes wide. Up top then Miller, broken up at center. Brady Tkachuk tried to play that one back the other way. Carolina will steal it. Grabbed back by the Sens. Intercepted right away. As soon as I say that, the Canes will dump it out of play. What's up, Gabby? How we doing? It's been a long time since I've seen you. Hope all is well with you, too. And going into the goaltender stats here, Freddie Andersen, 3-0 in these playoffs, has only allowed 3 goals the entire playoffs, a .946 save percentage. On the other side is Linus Ullmark, who has allowed more goals in this series, of course, but he has a .933. Face-off won by Carolina. Shot goes back down low to the corner. Aho to Svechnikov. This line's been mostly held off the lineup here for most of this series. Chatfield a shot, and that one goes wide there of Ullmark. On the right side, Spence back over to Giroux. Giroux will dump it down low then. Thomas Chabot clears it off the boards. Battling for it on the right side then and grabbed back by Pinto. Shane Pinto in his own zone. Broken up then by Sebastian Aho. Aho up top to Chatfield a shot, and that one goes wide. Here come the Sens the other way. They will flick this puck back to center. Battling for it then is Pinto alongside Slavin, and cleared back into the Ottawa zone. Tonight, Ottawa's lineup looks a little bit different, especially on their back end. Jake Sanderson and Artem Zub are not currently in the lineup. So taking their place is, I believe, Lassie Thompson and Carter Yakimchuk, who is playing in his first career playoff game tonight. Kleven battling for it on the right side. Up top, then Carolina controls. Miller shoots it, and that one goes down low. Kleven battling for it in the corner. Warren Fogle trying to take it back then for Ottawa. Fogle off the boards to center. Here's Stützle looking for options. He's been held scoreless in this series. Taylor Hall will steal it back then, who's met with a loud roar of boos as he was the one who injured Jake Sanderson. 3-on-1 coming down the other way. Hall into the zone. Pass over to Stankoven. They cannot convert. And here come the Sens the other way. Chabot ahead then for Nick Cousins. Nick Cousins into the zone. Will fire it on Anderson, who makes the save. So yeah, Ottawa's blue line, a lot of changes here tonight. The injuries to Taylor Hall, or the injuries to Jake Sanderson and Artem Zub, cause Ottawa to call up the likes of Carter Yakimchuk. And they're running a lineup here of Gilbert, Spence, Montepalo, Kleven, Yakimchuk, and Chabot, as they are missing Sanderson and Zub. Hey, what's up, Richards? How we doing? Face-off in the Carolina zones, one back by Ottawa. Up top, Chabot fires it on the one's blocked through the crease. In front, how did that not go in? Oh my goodness, it was right there on the doorstep, but they could not convert. Carolina will clear it back into the Ottawa zone. That's an icing against the Hurricanes, and how on earth did that stay out? Wow. Oh my God, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to change the shot count. It's still Oilers and Ducks. Oh my God, I don't know how I missed that. All right, there we go. I did not realize that. I apologize. Face-off coming up here now in the Carolina zone. 17.5 minutes to go here in this opening period. The face-off is won back then by the Hurricanes. Gostisbehere will clear this one to center. Off the boards, Marnook, and out of play. What's really interesting about this series, and I talked about it a little bit in the postgame of the last game we commentated, the Senators have been doing a solid job at keeping Carolina off the board, even though it is a 3-0 series for the Hurricanes. it hasn't necessarily been blowouts every single game. It really hasn't been. And they've held most of Carolina's offense off the board. They've kept Svechnikov, Jarvis, and Aho to only one singular point during this entire series. But the issue is that Ottawa's players have been held scoreless as well. Tkachuk and Stützle do not have any points in this series. Hey, thank you, John, for the $5 dono. You guys have been awesome and very generous with your donations here in these streams. Thank you, John. I really appreciate it. Here's Montemapalo on the right side. Then Carolina will bank it back to center. What's up, Glenn? How we doing? Tyler Clevin picks it up then in the Ottawa zone. Battling for it in the corner then with Jackson Blake. Clevin over then for Tkachuk. Chipped off the boards and all the way back into the Carolina zone. Anderson out of his net to play it. We'll bring it up then for Blake. Blake, cross-ice pass into the zone. Aho, a shot saved there by Ullmark. Sebastian Aho on the right side. Fires it again. Then one deflects up in the air and down low into the corner. Jordan Spence gets it back then for Ottawa. Played ahead then to center and broken up by Gostisbehere. Shane Gostisbehere now will move it through center. Kick back then for Aho. Aho will backhand it down low into the Senators zone. Now Gilbert off the boards. Broken up then by the Canes. They'll keep it in the zone. I imagine we'll see a lot of only the top two defensive pairings for Ottawa. We may not see that Yakimchuk and I think it's Clevin pairing. Here's Aho, a shot denied there by Ullmark. Waiting for the Wild game. Oh, yeah, me too. I'm excited about that one. That Wild Stars game is going to be awesome. Shots are 3-2 here in favor of the Senators. They've done a solid job at putting on the pressure in these opening minutes. We asked the question, though, can they convert on it? What's up, Spencer? How we doing? Welcome to the stream, brother. Thank you all for tuning in. Like the stream down below. It'll be greatly appreciated. Face off here in the Ottawa zone. It's blown dead due to a face-off violation, so we will try that again. Yeah, Wild game should be the best one of the day. Face-off in the Ottawa zone. One back then by the Sens. Cleared off the boards then on the right side, Zetterlund. Battling for it alongside Spence. Spence down low to Shabbat. Ahead then Gregg to Eller. Broken up by the Canes at center. Poke check then by Jordan Staal, who will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Ullmark back for Shabbat. Thomas Shabbat will throw this puck through center. Zetterlund will dump it into the zone. Anderson will drop it off then for Sean Walker. Walker ahead then for Jordan Staal. Staal will backhand this one down low here into the Ottawa zone. Getting it back is Spence, who will wait here behind the Senators' net. Jordan Spence in front of a loud Ottawa crowd. This crowd is roaring right now. Puck is dumped back into the Carolina zone. Stankoven over then for Jacob Slavin. Slavin off the boards for Hall, who will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Ullmark off the boards, turnover in front, and broken up by Ottawa. 3-on-2, Gregg to Tkachuk. Cross-ice pass, then Yakimchuk a shot, and that one is denied there by Anderson. For some reason, I thought that the 58 was 85. That's my excuse. Cleared back down low into the Ottawa zone. Yakimchuk off the boards then for Clevin. On the right side, Stankoven in front, denied there by Ullmark. Logan Stankoven has opened the scoring in all 4 of the games here in this series. Stankoven up top to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere to the point then. He'll regroup now on the right side. Up top, Nikishin, a shot goes wide there of Ullmark. Cousins banked off the boards to center. Gregg will throw that one into the Carolina zone. About 6 minutes gone here in this opening period. Gostisbehere giving back up then for Miller. Off the boards then and chipped down low into the Ottawa zone. Montemapalo back over then for Gilbert. Here's Drake Batherson. Batherson will move this one through center. He'll dump it down low into the Carolina zone. Anderson behind his own net. Battling for it on the right side then with Nick Delorier. Cleared away then by Carolina to center. Montemapalo battling for it with Robinson. Whistle blown dead here for, I believe, a hand pass. A little over 6 minutes gone here in this opening period. We are scoreless. And what a phenomenal hockey game we've had here so far. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Of course, we are still a little less than 50 subs away from 6,200. Hoping to put a dent in that today. Put a dent in that number today. Hoping Freddie gets the shutout. We'll see, bro. We shall see. Go Canes, go. Go Sens, go. Who's winning this game? Comment it down below. Who is winning this game here tonight? Will we see a Game 5 or will this series end tonight? What do you guys think? So, I'm not 100% sure if this does go to a Game 5. We'll be live for it. If Philadelphia and Pittsburgh goes to a Game 5, I think we're going to go live for that instead. But if that doesn't go to a Game 5 and this does, we will stream this on Monday. It's possible. It is possible we only have one game on Monday. If both the series that are 3-0 end tonight, there's a chance that it'll only be Vegas and Utah on Monday. So we may only have one game on Monday, which kind of sucks. Again, obviously I want to get as many games in as I can, but it's a possibility. What's up, Skivvies? How we doing? Canes will win today. Seeing a lot of Canes. I see a couple Sens. All right, back here from commercial break. The Hurricanes' second line of Taylor Hall, Logan Stankoven, and Jackson Blake has been the best line potentially in the entire Stanley Cup playoffs. They have averaged nearly 80% of Carolina's offense the entire series. And the Canes are going to get a power play here. I wasn't even exactly sure what happened. But Carolina now heads to the power play. Gostisbehere. Drop back then for Aho. Sebastian Aho into the zone for Svechnikov. Up top, Gostisbehere. Cross-ice pass then for Blake. On the right side, Ottawa will clear it all the way back down low into the Carolina zone. Guess I missed that when I was talking. Here's Gostisbehere. Through the neutral zone then. Over on the right side, Jarvis. Back to Blake. Down low, Aho now battling for it on the right side. Cleared off the boards then for Svechnikov. Up top with it then is Gostisbehere. Down low now for Aho. Sebastian Aho up top to Gostisbehere. Carolina cycling this puck. Aho on the right circle. Aho up top then for Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere to Aho. Down low shot from Svechnikov, denied by Olmark. Flyers and Canes play in the second round. Who do I think will win? Carolina. I think Carolina will beat Philadelphia. And pretty handedly, too. They might sweep us. But I think that's the realistic outcome. I would be shocked if the Flyers beat the Hurricanes. I would be shocked. Shots are even here at 4 apiece. Face-off coming up in the Ottawa zone. It is still scoreless. About half of the power play to go still. It was on Montemalo for closing his hand on the puck. You don't see that too often. Sens will try and clear to center. It's chipped off the boards by Chabot. And now coming to the way is Eller. Eller got some room. Back to Chabot. Chabot to center. Fires in, and that one goes wide of Anderson. And out of play. Penalty coming up here against, I think, the Hurricanes. And slow to get up on the ground is Thomas Chabot. I think he was hit into the corner. He's down. Chabot is down on the ground. He is in pain. And that is nothing but trouble for the Ottawa blue line. Oh, that's not good at all. This is not good at all for Ottawa. Hopefully Chabot can power through. This is another blue liner. And it is a check there by, I believe, Robinson, who throws him into the boards, or by Walker, sorry, and he actually runs over Ridley Gregg as well. Hopefully Chabot's okay. He'll get back onto the bench. He's played 97 minutes in this entire post-series combined. What's up, Christine? How we doing? Letisa, how we doing? Welcome to the stream. So we'll get some 4-on-4 here for a little bit, followed by a Ottawa power play. A massive opportunity here for the Sens. And I feel like if Ottawa wants to win this series, they have to score first in this game. They have to score first. Face off in the Carolina zone. Cousins versus Aho. The face off. Here's the tie-up then. It's won back by the Hurricanes. Again, 4-on-4 for 35 seconds, followed by a Sens power play. Here's K'Andre Miller. In his own zone, we'll drop it back then for Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere for Jarvis. Seth Jarvis will come back and regroup in his own zone. Jarvis back to Gostisbehere. We'll send a cross-ice pass then for Aho. Aho to Miller. Breaks it into the zone and blown dead due to an offsides. Close offsides, though. So it'll be a little bit more time of 4-on-4 followed by a Sens power play. Hopefully Shabbat's okay because it's been really, really bad for Ottawa's blue line. They've dealt with so many injuries. Face-off one back by the Senators. Carter Yakimchuk will regroup in the Ottawa end. Yakimchuk takes it down low in the Sens zone. Cross-ice pass then for Stützle. Tim Stützle will come back in his own zone and look for options. Ottawa's power play has been one of the worst power plays in this postseason. 0 for 12. Batherson to Pinto. Stolen back by Carolina. They will clear it down the other way. Getting back to it then is Ullmark. He'll play it ahead for Yakimchuk. Off the boards then for Tim Stützle. Stützle drops it back then for Batherson. Up top, Stützle. Battling forward then alongside Stahl. Jordan Stahl gets it back. Cross-ice pass to Marnook and broken up. Ottawa will regroup now in their own zone. Here's Yakimchuk, who will drop it back for Stützle. Tim Stützle into the zone. Tried to play that one up top to center. Stolen back by the Canes. Whistle blown dead. And we have another penalty coming up against the Hurricanes. It's going to be a 5-on-3 for a minute and a half. Absolutely huge opportunity for Ottawa. A minute 30 of 5-on-3 time for the Sens. And this is when you absolutely need to get a goal. Absolutely. Or sorry, 30 seconds. Apparently I can't do math. 30 seconds of 5-on-3 followed by a minute 30 more of 5-on-4. And Ottawa absolutely 150% needs to capitalize on this. They have not scored the first goal in the entire series. If you want to win this one tonight, get the opening goal. Get ahead. Yeah, I don't know what that play was. Face off here in the Carolina zone. It's Stahl versus Tkachuk. Off the draw, Carolina wins it. Sens get it right back down low. Canes will play it off the boards, and Slavin will dump it down the other way. 25 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Claude Giroux through center. Giroux chipped off the boards then for Stützle. Tim Stützle behind the net then for Ottawa. Stützle up top. Yakimchuk. Pass over then for Batherson. Down low getting it back is Giroux. Claude Giroux to Yakimchuk. Down low, puck is tipped. Stützle getting it back down low. First power play is over. It's 5-on-4. Chatfield will send Walker. Walker on the breakaway is wide. Huge opportunity there for Walker. He fires it wide. Here's Yakimchuk into the Ottawa zone. Yakimchuk battling forward alongside Jankowski. There is Tkachuk. Stützle to Pinto. Back up top, Stützle. Cross-ice pass to Pinto. Sens will set up. Yakimchuk to Pinto. Broken up by Carolina. And they will take it the other way. It's a 3-on-2. Jankowski clears it back down low into the Ottawa zone. Miller in the corner. JT Miller battling for that puck. Then Stützle will get it back down low. 9:40 to go in this opening period. Pinto ahead then for Shabbat. Shabbat will drop it back for Giroux, who dumps it down low. Around the right side then with it is Greg. Greg battling forward alongside Walker. 25 seconds to go in this 5-on-4. Down low now in the corner. Ottawa trying to get that one free. Pinto up top. Shabbat to Giroux. Giroux to Shabbat. Shot on is blocked. Carolina will steal it back. They will get it back into the Ottawa zone. Another abysmal 5-on-3 and 5-on-4 for Ottawa. The struggles continue. Here's Cousins into the zone. Fires it on that one's blocked. Kept in the zone by Ottawa. Shabbat shoots it. And that one's gloved by Anderson. No shots on goal for Ottawa on that power play. They have played absolutely terrible on the power play in this series. And those struggles continue. We are still scoreless here in this opening period. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. We are going to be live all day for round 1, game 4 of Stars versus Wild, following this game as well. And then round 1, game 4 of the Battle of Pennsylvania between the Flyers and the Penguins. It's a 3-game triple header. Tomorrow we're going to be live for all 4 of the games as well. We are live for all 7 of the games this weekend. It is an absolutely nuts run we're going on here. The Ottawa Pretenders. I like that. That's a good ring to it. Refill up there on some water. The voice is still kicking it. Still doing okay. Oh my goodness. Flyered up. Yes, sir. So am I. So am I. All right, face-off coming up here now in the Carolina zone. Yes, sir. A lot of games coming up, Christine. Yes, ma'am. And my phone is about to die already. Great start today. All right, shots 5-4 in favor of Ottawa. Face-off here in the Carolina zone. Battling forward then is Eller. Up top, Shabbat. Shabbat will dump it down low then. Sheffield off the boards ahead then for Blake. Blake's got some room. Drops it off the boards then for Hall. Hall to Stankoven, a shot. That one goes wide. Blake pass over. And Taylor Hall was right there, but he cannot convert. Here's Hall. Down low then for Blake. Jackson Blake will backhand it off the boards then for Stankoven. Logan Stankoven up top to Slavin. On the right side then Blake. Stolen back then by Fogle, who will chip it off the boards and back into the Carolina zone for an icing. So even though they struggled to get a goal on the power play, it is not over yet for Ottawa. Still a scoreless hockey game. And I feel like the important thing is you need to score the opening goal. If they don't get the opening goal, I don't think they win this game. And it's not even guaranteed if they do get the opening goal, they'll win it. But I think that you need to flip the script here a little bit. Carolina scored the opening goal for every game in this series. And what's crazy is that they've really held Carolina off the score sheet as well. A lot of their top guys have not contributed. Down low in the Carolina zone, Anderson off the boards then for Aho, meaning Jarvis, Sveshnikov, Aho. Ehlers hasn't been the greatest either. He's not even playing today. Here's Clevin on the right side, then stolen back by Carolina. Sveshnikov a shot, and that one is chipped off the boards up top for Miller. JT Miller back down low then for Shelovs, or for Aho. On the right side, Cousins back to Montempalo. Off the boards then, Pinto knocked down to the ground. Cousins will chip it back into the Carolina zone. Anderson on the right side to center. Here's Seth Jarvis getting around the D. Shoots it on. Glove by Ullmark. And there's a guy who's been a real difference maker, Linus Ullmark. He's been absolutely phenomenal in this series. Where are my shots at? Here we go. All right. Screwed up. Misclicked. Shots are 6-5 in favor of the Senators. Face-off coming up now in the Ottawa zone. It'll be Stahl versus Cousins. Face-off one back by the Sens. Spence to Gilbert. Off the boards down the right side. Slavin back up top to Stahl. Jordan Stahl will backhand it around behind the net. Then Spence off the boards. Up top for Chatfield. On the right side, and Martinook interferes with Gilbert there. Shot on, saved by Ullmark. Stahl up top. Backhanded down low in the corner. Gilbert battling forward alongside Carrier. Getting it back then is Martinook. Up top, Chatfield a shot. Saved through the traffic. Rebounds there and cleared away. Here's Ridley Gregg. Back over then for Spence. Gilbert up top then for Chatfield. Cleared down low into the corner then for Martinook, who's cross-checked by Spence. Getting it back is Carolina. Stahl to center, a shot. Denied by Ullmark. In the corner for Ottawa, Spence. Off the boards for Cousins. Dylan Cousins through center. He'll flip it down low into the Carolina zone. 6.5 minutes to go in this opening period. Jankowski. Back over then for Gostisbehere. Shane Gostisbehere will hold it here in the Carolina zone. Ghost will move it through center. Chipped off the boards and ahead. And down it on Ullmark, who will make the save. Yeah, goalie is not an issue for either side. I agree with that. Ullmark's been their best player for Ottawa. And I would argue Anderson's been the best for Carolina. These two goalies have really locked it down, to give them credit. Shot 6-5. Face-off coming up here now in the Ottawa zone. Linus Ullmark since January 31st when he returned from his mental health absence, a .909. He's been good since coming back. Face-off in the Ottawa zone. It's Stützle versus Stankoven. Face-off is a tie-up in the Ottawa zone. It's won back then by the Sens. Yakimchuk. On the right side, Batherson. Batherson up top then. Stolen back by Walker. A shot. That one's blocked. Walker up top. Pass back down low then for Jackson Blake. Blake in the corner for Stankoven. Stankoven trying to backhand that one down low. It's cleared back to center. Now Walker. Cross-ice pass then for Blake. Blake into the zone. Delayed penalty for Ottawa. Here's Taylor Hall. Hall behind the net. Hall trying to get it back then for the Canes. Up top then for Miller. 6-on-5 as Ottawa touches the puck. And we are going to get another Hurricanes power play. And I did not see the call, so let me see it here. Oh, that's a little much. Oh, that, okay. All right. Logan Stankoven was hooked, and we will get another Carolina power play coming up. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. It is greatly appreciated as always. So it'll be Carolina's second power play of the game. Seems like, and again, I said this yesterday, and I'm pretty sure I said it all playoffs. It feels like the referees are calling everything. As somebody who's watched basically every game in these playoffs, it feels like they're calling everything under the sun. So I'm not surprised with the amount of penalties we've had. Brady Tkachuk being a good boy so far. He's been good so far. He's been solid. In terms of his antics, he's been a little bit behaved. I totally agree with that. I got to make my predictions for the day. Guys, will the Phillies finally win today? Will the Phillies finally win a game today? I'm going to say yes, because Zach Wheeler's pitching. I think the Phillies are going to win today. Back here in Carolina, or back here in Ottawa, power play coming up. Face-off coming up here now. It's going to be in the Ottawa zone. Power play for the Canes. Shots are 6-5 in favor of Ottawa. Oh, my clock was running. Whoops. Face-off, one back by Carolina. Here's Aho. Down low then for Jarvis. Sebastian Aho up top then on the right side. Aho back over then for Seth Jarvis. Jarvis up top. Here at the point then, Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere back over to Jarvis. Down low then, Aho. Aho will loop it back up top then for Gostisbehere. Aho on the line then up top. Gostisbehere a shot. That one goes wide. Andrei Svechnikov then back over for Aho. Gostisbehere up top. Gostisbehere will fire it on. That one goes up and out of play. Good block there by Ridley Gregg. Cool, Spencer. A minute 22 to go here on this Carolina power play. Shots are 6-5 Ottawa. It'll be Eller versus Stahl. Face-off here is one back by Carolina. Gostisbehere on the right side then Jankowski up top. Gostisbehere a shot. And that one's denied. Rebounds there. Denied as well if that even got on. On the right side then Aho. 4.5 minutes to go. Gostisbehere to Aho. Down low then Jarvis. Gostisbehere back to Jarvis on the right circle. Jarvis will bring it back up top. Tiptoeing that blue line there. Will take it down low behind the net. Knocked off by Montepallo. Canes will keep possession. Cross ice pass then below the line. Aho. Pass in front. Denied by Ullmark. Jordan Stahl with a remarkable chance, but broken up by the Canes. Jarvis. All the way up top. Seth Jarvis looking for options. Pass over then is blocked. That's cool, Spencer. Have fun. Jarvis for Aho. Up top, shot on is blocked. Rebounds there. Denied as well. Clevin will steal it back and try and clear. It's kept in. Gostisbehere to Jarvis. Up top. Down low then with it is Jankowski. Pass over. How did that not get on? Are you serious? Puck is cleared back to center, and the Sens will kill off the power play yet again. Another great kill by Ottawa. They run down the clock. 3.5 minutes to go in the opening period. Blake to Stankoven, a shot. Save, rebounds there in front. They jab at that puck up top then. Shot on goes wide of Ullmark as well. Shabbat on the right side. Back down low. Ottawa will clear it to center. Intercepted then by Stankoven. Logan Stankoven pass to Hall. Puck's in the crease. Ullmark can't cover. Sens will chip it off the boards. 3 minutes to go here in the opening period. Getting it back down low then is Stankoven. Logan Stankoven over then for Miller. JT Miller in his own end. Stankoven thrown back to center where Carrier will battle for it alongside Spence. He'll lose the puck and the Senators will corral it. Spence tried to clear it out. Slavin keeps it in for Carolina. Dumps it down low. Carrier battling for it then. Intercepted by Ottawa. Stützle on the right side then for Spence. Cleared all the way back to center. And my screen just froze. Isn't that wonderful? Where's my controller at? Dump back down low here into the Carolina zone. And a Whistle blown dead at 2:18. Not exactly sure what happened there. My game froze. I apologize for that, guys. Wi-Fi has been a problem here at points. Thank you, Jane. Face-off coming up here now outside of the Carolina zone. Jankowski versus Tkachuk. The face-off is going to be a tie-up here outside of the Carolina zone. It's the Canes on the right side who will backhand it down low. Here's Yakimchuk in the Ottawa zone. Right side then for Walker, who will dump it to center. Zetterlund gets it back then for Ottawa. Zetterlund poke-checked off that puck. In the corner now. Grabbed over by Zetterlund, who fires one on. Up top, Clevin shoots it. That one's blocked. Tkachuk on the right side. Zetterlund to drive. And that one goes wide as well. Under 2 minutes to go. Down low in the corner, Tkachuk. Up top for Clevin. Clevin a shot. And that one goes wide. Jankowski battling for it then with Stützle. Now Cousins on the right side off the boards then. Broken up by the Hurricanes. Martinook will get it back to center. Clevin back in the Ottawa zone. Chipped off the boards then for Spence. Shots are dead even here in this opening period. 7-7. Spence in his own end for Ottawa. Back up top then Pinto. Ahead for Giroux. Cross ice pass broken up then by the Hurricanes. Svechnikov to Aho. Aho will dump it down low. Last minute of play. Huge hit in the corner there from Pinto. Sens will move it through center. Amadio to Spence. Spence will gain the line. He'll dump it down low into the Carolina zone. Giroux battling for it then. It's intercepted by the Hurricanes. Svechnikov to Aho. Aho to Svech, a shot. And glove by Olmark. And they'll blow the whistle at 35 seconds. Shots 8-7 in favor of the Hurricanes. Both teams have done a good job at putting the pressure on their two goaltenders. It's been a relatively even one here tonight between these two sides. Face-off in the Ottawa zone. Giroux versus Stankoven. Face-off won by the Canes. Slavin up top to Hall. Pass back to Chatfield. It's missed there. Down low in the corner. Chatfield pass in front. Broken up then by Ottawa. Here they come the other way with speed. It's a 2-on-2. Stützle into the zone for Batherson. Shoots it on. Saved by Anderson. Slavin trying to clear that one off the boards. 15 seconds to go. Kept in by the Sens. They'll dump it into the corner. Stützle to Batherson. Pass in front. Denied. Warren Fogle was right there. 3 seconds to go. Fogle in front. Denied by Anderson. And the time runs out. End of period number 1. It was a well-matched and well-played period. And we are tied scoreless after 20 minutes of play. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for period number 2 momentarily. This is the countdown till the second. Thank you all for tuning in as always. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. And now we get waiting here for the start of period number 2. Don't forget, later on tonight, we will be live for Stars and Wild Round 1 Game 4, followed by Flyers and Penguins Round 1 Game 4. Every single game we're live for here today on the channel. Thank you, Nurbai. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, bring in the energy. Trying my best. Thanks for them. Call period sounded normal and just kind of boring, not because of you, but the actual game flow. Yeah, I will say this. This has been the most boring series in the entire playoffs. And I've made that pretty clear. This has been the most boring series during the entire playoffs. It's just been really hard to watch. Really disinterested. All right, shots 9-7 in favor of Ottawa. I got to do some number crunching. Didn't update my numbers last night. Did I see Gritty pummel the Penguin last game? Yes, I did. I did see that. That was pretty funny. It was one of the best scenes from the game that day. Yeah. All right, just crunching numbers here, guys, super quick. Thank you all for tuning in as always. It is greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you're new. We are on the quest to 6,200 subscribers. All your guys' support has been very much so appreciated. Phillies not playing today? Yeah, Phillies are playing today. Phillies are playing today. The Phillies are sadly playing today. But yeah, we'll be I'll be checking out that game here as we checking out that game a couple of times throughout the stream. They don't play till later though, so I won't have to worry about that much. Yeah, there's a slight chance the shots will change. Once they look through the game more and take a look at the shots, they will change them up. So yeah, you're right about that, Spencer. Went from crunching chips to crunching numbers. Yup. Yup. I'm done with my number crunching though. I had to add up some numbers. Solid first period though for both teams. Honestly. They both played well, to be honest. I thought that was a solid period. I will say this series, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This has been the most boring series out of all of these playoff series. Honestly. Carolina cannot hang with a high scoring team. True. Where's CJ at? Not here right now. Not here right now. Thank you all for tuning in. Like the stream down below as well. Be greatly appreciated. As always. Let's go Flyers. Yes, sir. That'll be a fun game later on tonight for sure. Did not like the Lightning Canadian playoff series this year because the Lightning in the blue line where the goalie stands. I don't have a Discord anymore. I do not have a Discord anymore, Lizard. That's why I need to update that. That's why the links expired. I do not have a Discord anymore. So today, this morning, when I went out to go get the cough drops, I stopped by my local Target, and guess what I picked up from Target today? Hang on. So Taco, I don't think is here yet today. I think Taco might be working, but today I picked up a box of SP Authentic hockey cards. I opened it. I should have opened them up on stream, but I got too excited. I opened them up here before I streamed today. Do you guys want to see what I pulled? Do you guys want to see the cards that I pulled? Still organizing through them here really quick. All right. All right, let me show you guys what I pulled. So, basically, I got a bunch of base cards, of course, but basically, the cool thing with SP Authentic is that every single pack you pull or every single pack you rip, you get a rookie of some kind. And you were guaranteed one signed card per box. So, let's go through the ones that I got that were pretty. Go through all the rookies that I pulled. So, first of all, before we get into the rookies, I pulled a authentic profiles of Dylan Strome. So that was a pretty cool pull there. And then going through some of the rookie cards that I pulled a Beckett Seneca, SP Authentic Blue. I pulled a John Farinacci, a Jack Finley, a Noah Ostland, Jacob Melanson, Colton Dock, who is ironically enough no longer on the Blackhawks. A Cam Lund. And then I pulled a numbered Rookie Authentics card for Gabe Peralt. So a numbered Rookie Authentic for Gabe Peralt. As you can see there, it's 1,086 out of 1,749. So not worth a lot. But this other card that I pulled was worth quite a little bit. It's not the greatest rookie in the world, but it is a Rookie Authentic auto. It is a Rookie Authentic auto for Jack Finley. So Jack Finley no longer on Tampa Bay as St. Louis Blues player there, St. Louis Blues rookie. It is numbered 4 out of 25. 4 out of 25 was the number there for Finley. So not the greatest rookie that I could have pulled, but it was still a pretty solid pull. I'll take it, honestly. So yeah, I was really happy with that. I got freaking boxes all over my room right now of cards. Got to get rid of some of them. Only thing rigged about these playoffs so far has been the Sabres mascot coming out of the Raptors. Yep. Yep. All right. Period number 2 coming up here in just a moment, guys. Period number 2 in less than 5 minutes, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. We're about 40 subs away from 6,200. Am I a card show guy? Not really. I don't really go to card shows. But not a... But I do like cards, though. I'm a big sports card guy. Like, hockey and baseball are my favorite cards to collect. Some people were telling me I should go for Pokemon. Never been a Pokemon guy. To be honest with you. So, I have a collection full of all these different binders that I organize the cards through. And every single summer after collecting all the cards, I will organize my batch of cards that I've gotten over the last year into the binders. These are all the cards that I have to organize this summer. These are all the cards I have to organize this summer. It's a insane stack of cards. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. That should be interesting. Maybe we'll do some of it on stream. It's a lot, though. It's a lot. Pokemon is lame. Yeah, not a big Pokemon guy. All right. Hey, what's up, John? How we doing? Do a card stream? Yeah, that'd be a cool idea. Alrighty, everyone, let's get ready for the start of period number 2 between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Ottawa Senators here live from the CTC tonight. First period recap, there were no goals in the opening frame, and we are ready to get underway. No pregame intro here, they just decided to jump us right in. Face-off is cleared back down low into the Carolina zone. There'll be an icing against Ottawa, excuse me. Kind of burping here a little bit. Do I think Pittsburgh will bring any fight? Yes. They'll bring some fight tonight. They'll try to extend the series for sure. Shots are 8-7 in favor of Ottawa after 20 minutes of play. I preached a lot in the opening period of the game, saying that it's really important for Ottawa to get this opening goal. If they can get the opening goal in this one, they do have a chance to potentially get a stronghold on this series. Cleared back down low into the Carolina zone. Anderson will clear it off the boards and out of play. At 19:40, faceoff's going to come in the Carolina zone as a result of that. What's notable about this series is that Logan Stankoven has opened the scoring in all 3 of the games that have been played so far. So my question is, will he open the scoring here in Game 4? Face-off coming up here now in the Carolina zone. The Sens are looking to get the first goal. Aho versus Giroux. They will blow it dead due to a violation. And we'll try again. Face-off won by the Sens. Giroux up top to Yakimchuk. A shot there goes wide. Jarvis clears it back to center. Carolina holds it down low now in their own end with this puck is Jalen Chatfield. Chatfield chipped all the way back down low into the Ottawa zone. Here's Pinto. Off the boards then for Yakimchuk. Cleared off the boards then, getting it back is Amadio. Amadio ahead then for Pinto. Pinto into the zone. Shabbat shot. And that one goes wide. On the right side, Amadio battling for them with Chatfield. Cleared back to center then now, Yakimchuk. Shabbat will dump it down low into the Carolina zone. Chatfield on the right side then for Stützle. Back over then for Batherson. Up top then at the point is Monopalo. Monopalo back to Stützle. Pass in front goes wide there, Anderson. And cleared. What's up, Brian? How we doing? Through center then. Carolina battling for that puck. Ottawa trying to break it into the zone. Stolen back then. And cleared into the Carolina zone. Anderson off the boards then for Hall. Broken up by the Sens. Batherson battling for on the right side then with Blake. Jackson Blake fighting here with Aho. On the right side, Logan Stankoven takes it back. He'll dump it into the Ottawa zone. Montempalo will drop it back then for Clevin. Clevin off the boards then for Fogle. 2-on-2 the other way. Fogle dumps it down low into the zone. Stützle intercepted then by Carolina. Taylor Hall will get around the D. He's met by a loud roar of boos. Shot on there is an eye by Ullmark from the Keyshian. Nick Cousins battling forward then on the right side with Hall. Played back then down low, Gilbert for Eller. Eller trying to dump that one back to center. It's a scramble forward on the right side. Clear back down low for Gilbert. Gilbert off the boards for Spence. Carolina keeps it in. Jankowski in front. And a chance there is denied by Ullmark. Ottawa will steal it back and dump it to center. Gostisbehere for Jankowski, who will dump it down low. Getting it back then on the right side is Spence. Cleared back into the corner, Gilbert. Up top, Chatfield. Chatfield then for Robinson. In the corner now, Gilbert will backhand it off the boards. Eller battling for it then with Slavin. Stolen back by Dennis Gilbert. Gilbert off the boards for Cousins. Cousins through the zone, poke check to center. Stahl battling forward with Cousins. On the right side, Thomas Chabot now regroups in his own end. Back down low for Yakimchuk. Off the boards, Dylan Cousins. Clears the center. Here's Chabot. He's got some room on the breakaway. Comes in. Fires it wide. Good chance there for Thomas Chabot. Carolina takes it back the other way, though. Carrier knocked off the puck by Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk down low in the corner. Cleared off the boards then. Down low, Sean Walker. Fires it up top then. Brady Tkachuk will backhand it off the boards. And out of play. Shots 9-8 in favor of Carolina. Sens looking for the first shot of the period still. Really important. First goal of the game is really important. It's been the decision maker the entire series, obviously. Face off at center ice is won back then by Ottawa. Montempalo back over then for Pinto. Off the boards to center. Giroux ahead then for Clevin. He's got some room. Clevin will drop it back then for Pinto. Pinto at the point. Fires it on wide there of Anderson. Clevin battling forward then with Giroux. Up top then, Pinto intercepted to the line. Amadio at the point for Clevin. Clevin, a shot. Tipped in front and wide. Claude Giroux battling forward down low in the corner. Ottawa on the right side, then Pinto. Down low then for Giroux. Claude Giroux moves it to center. Pass over. Broken up. And Carolina trying to clear this one away. Amadio keeps it in. Pass over. Giroux in front. Shot on there. Goes wide. Are you serious? Great opportunity by Shane Pinto. And now Amadio getting into it with Gostisbehere. A full-on line brawl here on the ice. As I think down on the ground, I didn't see who that was. It's Nikishin, who is cross-checked down low into the corner. I didn't even see the play. And Nikishin is hurt. Down low in the corner, he getting up slowly. Again, fell back down to the ground trying to pick up his stick. And I didn't see the replay. It was on the side where I couldn't necessarily tell what happened. And we'll see if there is a penalty assessed. It says power play for Ottawa on my screen. But I'm not exactly sure what happened to Nikishin. And play is under review for a major penalty is what I just heard. So they're going to review this call and see if it's a major penalty on Nikishin. He is wiped out. And look at the replay. Oh, man. Clevin gets him up there high. Need to see that slow-mo. Oh, yeah. That was a huge hit down low. And then he gets into it Off of that Pinto chance right away, too. I didn't even see the play down low. And it looks like from that angle, it looks shoulder to shoulder. But I don't know. This could be a major penalty here for Ottawa. And this is not exactly how you want to, again, start things here in this second period, down 3-0. They're looking at the play. We'll see what the call is. It's pretty loud here in Ottawa. Hopefully Nikishin's okay. I don't think it was a major. It didn't look like he got him there up high. But we'll see. Has to be irrefutable. Yup. Oh, he looks absolutely stunned. Wow. He looks absolutely stunned there on the ice. All right, I think they're going to make the call here in a second. All of the CTCs currently on their feet. It was a big hit, but was it a clean hit? This could really sway the game. All right, here's the call. All right, so out of that, 4 minutes for roughing for Svechnikov, and then Clevin gets assessed a 2-minute penalty, so it was not a major penalty. It was a big hit, but it was a clean hit. Or at least that's what the officials think. And it's going to result in I believe, a power play for Ottawa. Because Svechnikov got 4 minutes for roughing, and Spence only got 2. So we'll see if this ends up being a Sens power play coming out of this. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. Or it could be a Canes power play too. I don't know. $15:25 left to go in this second period. Shots are 9-8 Carolina. Ottawa's going to get the power play. So a double minor for Svechnikov results in it being a 5-on-4 power play for Ottawa. And the Senators are 0 for 14 on the power play in this series. If there was ever a time to turn it around, it's now. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. We're at 42 likes. Face-off coming up here now in the Carolina zone. Tkachuk versus Stahl. Face-off won by the Canes. They will dump it down the other way. Yakimchuk, who now quarters back that power play in light of the Sanderson injury. Stützle. Back to Yakimchuk. Carter Yakimchuk will drop it back then for Stützle. Tim Stützle in his own zone. Moves it through center, off the boards then for Pinto. Pinto shoots it on Anderson. He makes the save. And now Stahl will take it back to center shorthanded. Stahl battling alongside Stützle. Intercepted then by Yakimchuk. Yakimchuk off the boards then for Batherson. Batherson comes in then for Tkachuk, who will shoot it down low into the Carolina zone. Slavin intercepts it and dumps it down the other way. And Carolina forces a offensive zone draw. So the faceoff is going to come in the Ottawa zone now. Power play still really not being a factor here for Ottawa. Or, if anything, a negative factor. A minute 08 of power play time. Face-off coming up in the Ottawa zone. It's won back by the Sens. Down low in the corner now. Stützle will bring it ahead through center for Ottawa. Stützle back over to Tkachuk. Stützle battling forward with Jarvis down low. On the right side, thrown back up top then. Getting it back is Yakimchuk. Behind the net then Stützle. Back to Yakimchuk. Yak dekes it around. Down low Stützle. Bathers in a shot. And that one goes wide. Cleared all the way back into the Ottawa zone. Yakimchuk will regroup. Carter Yakimchuk will give it up then for Spence. Cross ice pass for Claude Giroux. Giroux into the zone. Zetterlund in front and just wide there. And Greg takes out Anderson. And the Canes did not like that. And another line brawl ensues. Hey, $5 dono from JT. Let me read your message here. Just found your channel last Sunday. I've had a great week watching hockey with you. Thank you, JT. I appreciate it, man. I can never do it without you guys. Again, the donations are so very much greatly appreciated. Thank you all so much for all your continued support. And I'm glad that I've given you a way to watch the game, JT. I hope you've enjoyed the discussions. Shots 10-9 in favor of the Hurricanes. And Greg ran into Anderson there. I'm assuming there will be some penalties on this play. I mean, he does get kind of pushed into him there by Robinson. And Miller giving it to him in the face. And that will be a penalty. 4-on-4. It looks like I see on my screen. All right, we'll see what the call is. I think it's going to be 4-on-4. If I had to guess, I think Gray's going to get a penalty. Yeah, goalie interference there for Ridley Gregg. So 4-on-4 coming up. So it'll be 4-on-4 for 23 seconds, followed by a Sens power play. All right, 4-on-4. Taking a little bit to sort out the penalties, and now we'll get a face-off coming up in the Ottawa zone, and Taylor Hall getting into it with Shabbat and Yakimchuk. Obviously, he took out Sanderson yesterday. Face-off in the Ottawa zone. It's Ridley Gregg for goalie interference. 4-on-4 for 23 seconds. Face-off one with the Canes. Miller, a shot, goes wide. Walker battling for it down low in the corner. Gregg poke checked away then for Clevin. Clevin off the boards then for Eller. Eller to center. Miller back down low then for Walker. JT Miller will hold it now in his own end. Over then for Sean Walker, who breaks it through center. Walker on the right side then for Hall. Carolina power play will begin. 1:35 of it. Here's Miller. Banks it back down low. JT Miller off the boards then for Walker. Walker to Blake. Jackson Blake on the right side up top, then Stankoven. Pass back to Miller. Miller down low, then Stankoven up top to Blake. Blake to Hall. Hall cross ice pass broken up by the Sens. They will clear it down the other way. Anderson will give it back then for Miller. JT Miller will drop it back then for Aho. Aho breaks it into the zone, battling for it alongside Pinto. And cleared away by the Sens. Racing forward with speed is Stützle. Stützle comes in. Denied by Anderson. What is Blake doing there? Gostisbehere. Back down low then for Jankowski. Down low now in the Carolina zone. Gostisbehere will get it back then for the Hurricanes. Carolina regroups in their own end. Jarvis. Over then for Blake. Blake battling for it on the right side then. Cleared back up top. Here's Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere. Pass down low. Shut on. Saved by Ullmark. Montempalo. Battling for it in the corner. Then Aho gets it back. Blake comes in. Pass over. And Jankowski going to get it back up top. Gostisbehere a shot. He fanned on that puck. Jankowski to Gostisbehere. Time running down on the Canes power play. Gostisbehere to Jankowski up top to Aho. Aho to Gostisbehere. Shut on goes wide of Ullmark. On the right side, battling for it here in the corner, Montempalo. And the Sens will break it to center. Pinto will dump it down low into the Carolina zone. Anderson battling for it then with Gregg. Here comes Jordan Staal. Staal then for Jarvis. Jarvis will backhand it down low here into the Ottawa zone. Staal fighting with Cousins. Down low now behind the net then. Martinook trying to clear it off the boards. Gregg on the right side there as well. Carrier battling for it down low. Staal in the corner. Jordan Staal battling for that puck here on the right side. Grabbed back by Carrier. Shut on. Denied by Ullmark. Rebound was there. And Yakubchuk gets it back. At the point then, Yakubchuk. Intercepted by Carolina. Hall comes into the zone. Pluk checked away. Intercepted then by Yakubchuk, who will try and clear it off the boards. Tkachuk will play it to center. And stolen back by Carolina. Halfway through the game and the period, we are still scoreless. Tkachuk slammed Taylor Hall into the boards. And he knocks off his helmet. Up top, Robinson. Back on the right side then for Blake. Jackson Blake in the corner, battling for it then. Alongside Hall, who loses his helmet again. Now Ottawa moves it through center. Shabbat. Pass up to Gregg and back into the Carolina zone and blown dead for an icing. Taylor Hall was ran into twice and his helmet was taken off of him. And this is pretty intense one here. Brady Tkachuk slammed Hall into the boards. He ripped off his helmet too. And now we got a whole line brawl here before we even play. Oh my God. Shots 12-11 in favor of the Hurricanes. Pretty low shot affair, but this entire series has been like that. Oh, did I say JT? My bad. Of course I did. Yeah, this is chaos here in Ottawa. Definitely going to get some penalties assessed out of this. Nick Delorier trying to get into it with Tkachuk. Penalties will be assessed. Yep, full line brawl at center. And then Stankoven gets into it with Gregg. Robinson was fighting Cousins. He had Cousins in a headlock. Penalties here. We're going to get a penalty on Delorier, Tkachuk, Robinson, and I think it'll just be 5-on-5 through all of this. They're like 0 for 18, I think. Yeah, Tkachuk's got to wake up for sure. We will step aside. 10-10 to go here in the second period. Canes and the Sens are still scoreless. Yeah, they're figuring out to play aggressive for sure. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. We are exactly 40 subs away from 6,200. Like the stream as well. We're at 48 likes here on the commentary. It's greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you. We will be live later on today for Stars and Wild, followed by Flyers and Penguins. We are live all day here on the channel. Should be a fun and action-packed filled day as always. Got about 95 people in here as well. Still a scoreless hockey game. Shots are 12-11. Not exactly the highest scoring game, but none of these games have really been that. It's been 2-1, 2-0. I think game 2 was 3-2, right? All right, back here from commercial break. It's going to be 5-on-5, it looks like, but a couple of penalties were assessed. Delorier got a double minor. Brady Tkachuk also got a 2-minute minor as well. Power play for Ottawa coming out of this. We'll see if it overlaps, John. I don't think it will. I think puck drop for Dallas and Minnesota is 5:50. So we might be able to get it on time if this game ends in regulation. If it goes to overtime, for sure. So after all of that, there's going to be a power play here for Ottawa. So another opportunity here as Jackson Blake, Delorier, and Robinson were called for the penalties. And the Sens will get another chance on the man advantage. Face-off is immediately won then by Carolina. They will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Halfway through the game and the period. Stützle through center for Ottawa. Over then for Batherson. Back up top then Yakimchuk. Yakimchuk on the right side then. Played back for Stützle in front. Pinto a shot. And that one is blocked. Canes battling for now on the right side. Cleared back down low for Gregg. Gregg to Batherson. Batherson up top then for Yakimchuk. Carter Yakimchuk battling for on the right side then with Stahl. There as well. And forced back to center. Batherson's tripped. And that's another penalty there against the Canes. And a whistle blown dead here for an offsides. 9:22 to go. We are going to get another 5-on-3. Another 5-on-3 coming up for Ottawa. Ottawa's been being handed this game on a silver platter. It'll be a minute 12 of 5-on-3 time for the Senators. A minute 12. I mean, again, like, they've had a couple of 5-on-3s already in this series. I cannot express it enough how big of an opportunity this is. They have to score. You have to. All right, face-off coming up in the Carolina zone. 5-on-3 for Ottawa. Face-off is won by the Sens. Batherson up top for Ottawa. Down low to Giroux below the line. Giroux to Stützle. Back to Giroux. Giroux, pass over to Stützle. It's tipped in front and grabbed back by Chabot. Intercepted then by Carolina. They will clear it down the other way. Running down clock on the 5-on-3. Stützle through center. Pass back over then for Batherson. Up top Shabbat. Shabbat down low, tip just wide. Thomas Shabbat down low, then back over for Slavin, who will dump it back into the Ottawa zone. Claude Giroux carries it through center, then chipped off the boards and back down low. Giroux poke checking it around Chatfield. Giroux up top then for Batherson. 20 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Batherson to Giroux. Shoots it. Saved by Anderson. And Carolina clears. 10 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Batherson through the zone. Gets it around the Carolina defense. First penalty comes to a close. Now 5-on-4. Huge hit there. Here's Shabbat. Fumbles the puck. And interfering with him was Jackson Blake. And Ottawa will steal it back and regroup. Shabbat knocked off that puck up top. Giroux, a shot denied by Anderson. Pinto up top to Shabbat. Right side, Cousins. In front, Giroux broken up. Here's Shabbat. Down low then for Giroux. Giroux to Shabbat up top. Down low then Stutzla. Cousins in front. Save rebounds there. Denied. And cleared away. Kept my Cousins a shot. And that one's denied as well. 10 seconds to go. Giroux intercepted at the line. Aho up to Blake. Broken up then by Shabbat. The power play comes to a close. Here's Jackson Blake. In front then. Broken up by Ottawa. Olmark will clear it. Back to center. A whistle blown dead. And there were some Sens fans that were absolutely furious as Shabbat was taken down low in the corner. Frederik Andersen, the man of the hour, keeping this game scoreless after another 5-on-3. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. $40 subs away from 6,200. What a phenomenal game we have here so far. Man, like I'm telling you, Ottawa is being handed this game on a silver platter. Like it's right there for them to get. They've had numerous power play opportunities, but they just cannot get that game tying goal. It's really frustrating. And that's been the story as to why they can't win a game in this series. Like, if they convert on even one of their power plays, you never know the game. One of these games could have gone the other way with how close the overall scores have been. But just because they're 0 for, 20 on the power play, they just can't. Come on. It's really frustrating, and I'm not even a Sens fan, and it's really, really frustrating. How's this game going on so far? It's not too bad. It's been a little uneventful in the first period. The second period has been a little bit better, but still scoreless. 7:15 to go here in period number 2. Rod Brindamore is flipping out on the official right now. Yeah, Brindamore is not happy. He's showing a lot of emotion here. Faceoff's going to come here in the neutral zone, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Rod Brindamore talking to the linesman. He's not impressed. 5 power plays tonight for Ottawa. So far, they are 0 for 5. Yeah, Brindamore's still talking to the official. He is not happy. Physical one here so far. Face-off coming up here now in the Ottawa zone. One back by Carolina. They'll keep it in. Walker, and I guess they didn't keep it in. I thought they kept that one in. Whoops. All right. Claude Giroux, unhappy with the referees as well. It seems like everyone's angry. Face-off in the Ottawa zone. It's Greg versus Stankoven. Face-off one back then by the Sens. Spence chipped off the boards and back down low into the Carolina zone. Walker fighting now with Tkachuk. On the right side, Sean Walker then trying to get that one free. Greg will steal it back then for Ottawa. Back in front for Cousins. And broken up then by Carolina. 1-on-2. Stankoven chips around Spence. Shabbat off the boards then for Miller. Down low now with it is Stankoven. Pass back up top then for Hall. Hall to Walker. Clears it around then behind the net. Blake will battle for it then with Cousins on the right side. Shot by Chatfield, denied by Allmark. Shots have intensified a little bit, but still very limited. Face-off coming up here now in the Ottawa zone. It's Pinto versus Aho. We will take the draw yet again. Now Jarvis comes in. The face-off is one to the right side. Then Ottawa will chip it to center. Pinto for Giroux will backhand that one down low. Getting to it then is Amadio. Amadio with Goss to spare. Down low in the corner, Slavin. Back then for Aho. Sebastian Aho will dump this one to center. Now Montempalo will dump it here into the Carolina zone. On the right side, Pinto ahead then for Giroux. He fumbles the puck a little bit, fires it on. Saved by Anderson. Up top, Carolina will get it back to center. Here's Taylor Hall. Svechnikov to center. Broken up then by the Sens. Amadio on the right side for Montempalo. Sens will regroup on their own end. Tyler Clevin. Cross-ice pass through center. Broken up then by the Canes. Stahl. Hit off that puck as it comes back into the Ottawa zone. Montempalo to Clevin. Clevin will dump this one to center. Zetterlund battling for on the right side then. Getting it back is Nick Cousins. Cousins up top. Here's Spence's shot. And that one goes wide. Gilbert to Spence up top. Spence will fire it again. That one's blocked. Now Cousins battling for it with Goss to spare. Intercepted then by the Canes, who will dump it into the Ottawa zone. 5 minutes remaining here in the second period. Cleared off the boards then for Zetterlund. Zetterlund battling for it alongside Chatfield. In the corner, Miller. Back over then for Cousins. Up top, Spence. To Cousins. Spence's shot is blocked. Carolina now moves it through center. They'll backhand it ahead. Here's Vestikov in front. They score! It's Taylor Hall, the villain. It's 1-0 Canes. .443 left to go in the second period for the fourth straight time in this series. The Canes have opened up the scoring. It's Taylor Hall from Jankowski and Robinson. And the Canes take the lead. Taylor Hall has received a loud crowd of boos every single time he has touched the puck. For his play on Jake Sanderson yesterday, and now he scores the goal. His 18th of the postseason of his career, by the way, not this entire year. And I believe that was Jankowski, not Svechnikov. I've been making that error the entire series, though. Every single time one of those two comes up, I always say the wrong one because Svech is 37, Jankowski's 77. Face off here, won by the Sens. Shabbat for Yakimchuk, who will chip it out the boards to center. Batherson up top. Now the Sens will once again play from behind. Here's Shabbat for Fogle, who dumps it down low. Thank you, Bogo. I turned it down a little bit. Here's Blake. Battling for it on the right side, then to center. Shabbat backhands it down low into the Carolina zone. Trying to get that one the other way then was Blake. He'll grab it down low in the Carolina end. Pass in front, and over there was Stankoven, but the play was broken up. Blake fires it on, broken up then to center. Chatfield will backhand it down low into the Ottawa zone. Olmark then for Shabbat. Thomas Shabbat now behind his own net. Shabbat off the boards and back into the Canes' end. Anderson plays it off the boards. Jackson Blake behind the Carolina net. On the right side, Canes trying to clear. Clevin is there as well. And cleared back into the Ottawa zone. It's once again that second line that converts on the scoring. I don't even think that most of that line was on the ice, but obviously Taylor Hall with his second goal of the series and a penalty coming up against the Hurricanes. Power play coming up here for Ottawa. It'll be the sixth power play of the game for the Sens, and it was a high-sticking call. Brady Tkachuk getting into it there with Walker. And the Sens will get another chance to tie it. 3.5 minutes to go. Carolina takes the 1-0 lead. If you think the Flyers will beat the Canes in the second round, the Senators have a better chance against the Canes than the Flyers. Yes, I agree with that. I don't think I never said that, though. I never said the Flyers would beat the Canes. As much as I would love it as a Flyers fan, no, it's not happening. But it's a 3-0 series, so why did it have to be Taylor Hall? Yeah, of course, after the hit yesterday on Sanderson. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. We're at 52 likes here on the commentary. Thank you all so much for tuning in as always. Should I still post the clip even though I got the assist wrong? I don't know why I thought that was Svechnikov. Come on, Ottawa, win this game. I want more games. That's kind of how I'm feeling, too. Not that I'm rooting for Ottawa. I'm not really rooting for any team. I did think the Canes would win, but I want more hockey, so why not? Face-off in the Carolina zone. One back by the Sens. Yakimchuk at the point for Ottawa. Intercepted by Carolina. They'll take it the other way with speed. Pass in front. Stahl comes in. Denied by Olmark. Rebounds there. Denied as well. What a stop by Linus Olmark. Shorthanded. Spence through the neutral zone. We'll drop it back then for Stützle. Stützle to Pinto. Pinto back to Stützle. Up top then Yakimchuk. To Tkachuk. Yakimchuk to Stützle drive. He scores! It's Drake Batherson on the power play. And Ottawa has tied the game. Finally, a power play goal. It was Stützle who took the shot. And then Batherson, I believe, got the rebound or the tip in front. And we are now tied at 1. And let's see the replay here. Yep, off of Batherson and trickling into the back of the net. Drake Batherson with the tip ties the game for Ottawa. 2:52 left to go in this second period. And all of a sudden, we have ourselves a game. Face-off is won back then by the Sens. Shots are 18-15 in favor of Ottawa. Cleared down low into the Carolina zone. Miller off the boards then for Aho. Back into the Ottawa and Montempalo off the boards. Carolina will regroup now in their own zone. Intercepted then by Ottawa. 2.5 minutes to go here now in this second period. Sens will dump it into the Kane zone. Anderson gets it back. Amadio will force it to center. Tyler Clevin holds it now in his own zone. Spence battling for it alongside Hall. He falls down to the ground. Now Spence gets it back. Clevin off the boards. Tkachuk trying to bring that one into the zone. Cleared back to center then by Carolina. Cousins back down low. Carolina will dump it back to center. Shabbat off the boards then for Stankoven. Shut on there. Saved by Olmark. Spence down low for Shabbat. Shabbat chipped off the boards to center. Huge hit there by Jackson Blake. And the Sens did not like that. And now we have a full-blown line brawl with layers of players fighting on top of each other. Oh my goodness. Probably going to be some penalties assessed here on this. We will see what is that. Sean Walker with the big hit down low on Greg. And yeah, that results in a Senators power play. That Walker hit was not the prettiest. That's a blatant cross check there into the boards on Ridley Gregg. Yeah, I mean, you got to call that. And they want to say it's a 5. I think they might review this here. We'll see. Greg is all bloodied up. This could be a big opportunity here for Ottawa. I think they said they're reviewing it for a major. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. I think it'll be a 2. It will be a 2. They're not reviewing it. I thought I heard something that they said they were, but maybe I heard wrong. Wouldn't surprise me. Incredibly physical series here. The Senators are going to get their 7th power play of the game, and we're not even in the third period yet. Face off here in the Carolina zone. It's won back then by the Canes. Slavin off the boards then for Stützle. He's knocked down to the ground. Carolina forces it back to center. Carter Yakimchuk in his own zone. Yakimchuk will drop it back then for Stützle. Stützle through center. Back over then to Tkachuk. Intercepted then by the Canes, who will break it now through center. 3-on-2. Martinook to Chatfield. Chatfield shoots it. That one's blocked. Rebounds there. Pass over. Nobody was there on the back door. Last minute of play in the second period. Pinto back for Stützle off the boards then to Tkachuk. Tkachuk will clear it down low. Batherson on the right side. Dump back to center. Here's Brady Tkachuk with 45 seconds to go. Aho intercepts it then. Will dump it here into the Senators zone. I'm from Pennsylvania, Mike. Thank you. Here comes Tim Stutzla. Back over then to Giroux. Giroux for Shabbat. 20 seconds to go in the period. Anderson out of his net to play that puck. Shabbat knocked down to the ice. And the Canes will force it back into the Ottawa zone. One last chance for the Sens. 10 seconds to go. Giroux for Greg. Greg to Cousins. Down low now in the corner. Chatfield and a whistle blown dead here with 3 seconds left. And is this another penalty? Is this another penalty? No way. Another penalty for Carolina. Power play coming up for Ottawa. It's going to be another 5-on-3. Their third 5-on-3 of the game. With 3 seconds left, they will head to the third period, tied 1-1 in a 5-on-3. This third period's about to be nuts. 3.6 left in the second period. Face off in the Carolina zone. The Canes' power play's been tested tonight. Here's Giroux versus Stahl. They'll take a second to take the face-off. They'll kick Giroux out. Now Pinto comes in. All right, the face-off is a tie-up. Cleared back down low behind the net then, and that will do it for the second period. And that sets up a very, very interesting third period. We are tied at 1. It was Taylor Hall who opened up the scoring. Then Drake Batherson made it a 1-1 game. So many penalties in that second period. And there will be more in the third. 5-on-3 for Ottawa to start the third period. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for period number 3 momentarily. This is the countdown till the third. Let them play. Yup. Refs calling penalties like crazy. Yeah, everything's been called tonight. That was an insane game end period. Wow. So don't forget, this game is most likely going to overlap with this game, but we will still be live for it when this one's over. And then after that game is done, we will go live for Flyers and Penguins. So we are live for all 3 here tonight, but with the way this game is trajectorying, we're probably going to overlap. Probably. Especially if it goes to overtime. So be prepared for that. All right, that being said, I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick. I will be right back in just a moment. All right, I have returned. Sorry about that. What's up, everyone? Back for a big day. What's up, T-Stat? How we doing? Making dinner while listening to the game. Yeah, it's nuts, bro. Absolutely chaos. I'm going to make a clip of the Batherson goal. That's the one I'll do. All right. Putting up the stream here on my computer. That seemed better. We actually had an okay game coming up for the last period. Sounds like this game is up for grabs. Lots of penalties, great calls here. Thank you. Yep. Lots of penalties for sure. Penalty minutes 20-10. So there's been 30 total penalty minutes. Absolutely nuts. All right. Shots are 18-16 in favor of Ottawa. The two goaltenders have really been the difference makers yet again. Hope the Bruins can win the next game. Need Carolina to win and win $1,000 if the Hurricanes in the next win. Ooh.
I'm going to be the one to say it.
Well, good luck, Crimson. That's a pretty that'll be a pretty fun bet to follow.
Are you a top one? Introducing Gatorade Lower Sugar.
Be sure to like the stream down below as well, guys. We're at 56 likes. We're 40 likes away from 100. I appreciate all your guys' support here on the commentary so far. This game will definitely overlap with Stars and Wild, unfortunately, but as soon as this game is done, we'll transition over to that game. So stay tuned for that. I mean, again, like obviously, again, I would rather go to that stream, but obviously, again, we got to get through this one first. Because that series, Stars and Wild, has been the best performing series of the playoffs thus far. Carter Yakimchuk with an assist on that goal, by the way. So Yakimchuk making a difference. Minecraft proves the flat earth theory. What? Yeah, the world's made of blocks. If you win $1,000, you'll tip me 50. Damn. Gotta pay it off. Pay it forward for the playoff streams. Well, thank you, Crimson. I appreciate it. Now I'm heavily rooting for you. Carter Yakimchuk, first career watch with Nordic point. Any update on if Nikish will be able to skate ever again? I haven't seen anything. I'm going to assume he's not going to return. If I had to guess, I'm just looking at the looking at Twitter here, see if I can find something. This game's gonna cause a lot of discussion on Twitter for sure. Yeah, I don't see anything on Nikishin. Don't use Twitter, so appreciate you. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I'm going to assume he's not going to come back, but he could. What do I think of the God Hudson's goal yesterday? That was phenomenal. He's had a hell of a playoffs. Really effective for the Canes. Got to appreciate it. Also got me 1,600 views yesterday, so I definitely appreciate him. Beer and barbecued burgers tonight. Ooh, that sounds like a fun dinner. My dinner will be probably after all the streams is when I'll eat. All right, still got about 5 minutes till the start of period number 3. Stick around, everybody. Subscribe down below if you're new. Don't forget, at the end of this commentary, regardless of when it ends, we will transfer over to Stars and Wild. That should be a fun one later on tonight. Five-two Blue Jays, bottom of the 7th. Oh boy. Incredibly physical and highly entertaining second period. It sets the stage for the third period coming up in about 2 minutes or so, guys. Stick around. Third period coming up. Ottawa will start off with a 5-on-3 to initiate this third period. Just so you guys know. Alrighty, everyone, let's get ready for the start of period number 3 between the Ottawa Senators and the Carolina Hurricanes. Second period recap. Goals were scored by Taylor Hall and Drake Batherson. It sets the stage for an exciting third period. A season is on the line. One goal could either send a team to the second round or expand this series. We'll find out. Period number 3 is underway. 5-on-3 for Ottawa. Face-off won by Carolina. They will immediately dump it into the Senators' zone. Grabbing it back then is Yakimchuk. Stützle to Tkachuk. Stützle takes it around behind the Ottawa net. Broken up by Carolina. They will try and clear. Kept in by Tkachuk. Ottawa will finally set up. Chatfield will clear it out of play. So a whistle's blown. Tkachuk doesn't want none of the big Nick Delorier, that's for damn sure. Yeah, we'll see what happens there with that. Delorier wants to fight for sure. He seems like he wants to get in on the action, but Tkachuk seemingly not accepting yet. I mean, I think he tried to in the second. Face-off won by Ottawa. Here's Yakimchuk a drive, and that one's denied there by Anderson. There's Carter Yakimchuk up top, quarterbacking that power play for Ottawa's 7th overall pick back in 2024. And he's been a great player tonight. He's played well tonight, actually. If there is a Game 5, I imagine we'll see him then. Face-off in the Carolina zone, won by the Sens. Batherson battling for on the right side with Stahl. Carried ahead then by Carolina. They will dump it into the Ottawa zone. Ullmark will give it back then for Yakimchuk, who will move it through center. Stützle carries it into the zone. Batherson up top then. Yakimchuk. Over then for Pinto. Pinto to Stützle. Halfway through the 5-on-4. Stolen back by Carolina. Aho will carry it through center. He'll dump it down low. And now Brady Tkachuk regroups in the Ottawa end. Tkachuk intercepted. His stick breaks. Aho fires it. And that one goes wide of Ullmark. Off the boards now, Stützle. Up top then. And back down low, Stützle up top. Pinto can't get it on. Puck will be cleared to center. 30 seconds to go. Cousins will dump it down low into the Carolina zone, and that one goes up and out of play. 24 seconds to go on the power play. Brady Tkachuk tried to send a pass the other way. His stick broke. Thankfully, Aho wired a puck wide of Ullmark. Face-off in the Carolina zone. Shots are 19-16 in favor of Ottawa. The face-off is Drew versus Jankowski, who has an assist tonight. Face-off won back by Ottawa. Zetterlund, cross-ice pass. Shabbat comes in, fires it. Saved there by Anderson. Jordan Martinook now will clear this one off the boards and all the way back into the Ottawa zone. Cousins behind the Sens net. Dylan Cousins will move this one through center. He'll get around the D. Kept in by Ottawa. Shot on there goes wide of Anderson. Rebounds in front and cleared away. Power play comes to a close for Ottawa. Another 5-on-3 and 5-on-4 killed off. They've had 8 power plays tonight. Slavin. Cross-ice pass off the boards back into the Ottawa zone. Icing at 17:46. Well, if there is a Game 5, it'll be on Monday, and we will be live for it. Here's the interesting factor: the Hurricanes heading into this game today, they have not trailed at all in the series. Meaning the Senators have had a lead. Not even once. Puck is cleared back into the Ottawa zone. Spence in his own end for the Sens. Jordan Spence now looking for options. He'll hold it down low here in the Ottawa zone. Spence. Cross ice pass then for Fogle. Broken up by Carolina. They'll dump it back down low. Sens need to be really careful. One mistake could cost their season. Shabbat will dump it into the Carolina zone. And that's another icing. Plenty of icings here so far. That's for sure. Alex Nikishin will not return. Alexander Nikishin will not return to this game. So for those who were curious, I know there were a couple people asking questions, but Nikishin will not return tonight. Face off in the Ottawa zone. Pinto will take the draw. It's won back then by the Hurricanes as the puck slides back into the Carolina zone. Anderson over then for JT Miller. Miller behind the Canes net. Gostisbehere to center. Now Blake through the neutral zone. Off the boards then Svechnikov. Cross ice pass then. Cleared back to center. Gostisbehere will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Clevin, cross ice pass. Stützle to Giroux. A shot denied by Anderson. Jordan Staal ahead then for Carrier. Carrier will backhand it down low. Sens will regroup in their own zone. Clevin intercepted there. Staal gets it back. Chipped off the boards and back into the Ottawa zone. Here's Giroux. Off the boards then. Broken up by Carolina. Shot on by Staal. Goes up and out of play. Time slowly winding down here. It's nuts that Ottawa has not even had a lead in this entire series. Not even once. But it does make sense when you think about it. They've been tied a couple of times, but face off in the Senators zone. Jankowski versus Clevin. The face-off is won back by the Sens. The Mammoth did win yesterday. Carolina will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Jankowski back for Robinson. Sens will get it back to center. Zetterlund off the boards. Stolen back by the Canes. Here's Robinson into the zone. Dekes around, backhand on. Save there by Omark. Here's Pinto. Trying to clear that one off the boards. Canes keep it in. Svechnikov takes it around behind the net. Backhand in front. Denied there by Ottawa. Up top, Chatfield shoots it on. The one goes wide. Canes pick it back up. Svechnikov. Cross ice pass up top then for Chatfield. Chatfield to Slavin. Slavin will walk across the blue line. Jacob Slavin then down low for Chatfield. Jalen Chatfield to Jankowski. In the corner, Lars Eller battling for it. Penalty coming up against the Sens. 15-13 to go. Carolina power play. And it comes off of an interference call there on Thomas Shabbat. And the Carolina Hurricanes will head to the man advantage. Or I'm sorry, a slash. Not an interference. My apologies. Hurricanes power play coming up. This is a massive opportunity for the Hurricanes to put themselves ahead here in Game 4. Carolina 0 for 3 on the power play. Face-off is won back by Carolina. Gostisbehere over then for Jarvis. Jarvis battling forward with Montemalo. Staal in the corner there with Gregg as well. On the right side, Seth Jarvis trying to get it free. Up top then Gostisbehere. Aho up top for the Canes. Sebastian Aho then carried down low for Blake. Now Aho up top. Sebastian Aho at the point then for the Canes. Pass over and Svechnikov a drive. And that one's denied and out of play. My screen froze as soon as Svechnikov got the one-timer. It's like, what the hell, bro? My screen just froze all of a sudden. Face-off in the Ottawa zone is won back by the Canes. Gostisbehere on the right side for Aho. Down low then with it, Sebastian Aho at the point. Over to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere drops it back to Jarvis. Jarvis to Gostisbehere. Shane Gostisbehere at the line. Pass up top. Aho, a shot. That one goes wide there, Volmark. Gostisbehere. Down low then for Stahl. Right side, sends try and clear. Montempalo battling for it then. Stahl. Up top to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere to Aho. Down low now with it, Jarvis. Cross ice pass broken up. Jarvis will poke check it ahead then for Stahl. Stahl to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere then to Aho. Shane Gostisbehere then back to Aho on the right side. Time winding down on the power play. Aho in the corner. Svechnikov fighting with Clevin, who will dump it down the other way. Great defensive play there by Tyler Clevin. K'Andre Miller moves it through center. He'll drop it back then for Taylor Hall. Into the zone. Cross ice pass then for Blake. Blake up top, down low then. Jackson Blake. Below the line to Stankoven. Cross ice pass. Aho to Miller. Miller to Svechnikov. Shot on his block. Penalty is over. Puck is cleared back to center. Here come the Sens through center. Greg will try and dump it down low. It's broken up at the line. Ottawa regroups in their own end. Spence will dump it down low. And into Anderson's glove. I hope it doesn't go to overtime. It does kind of look like it's going to go to OT, though. It does have that feel. 12:55 to go in the third period. We are tied at 1 apiece. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. We are about 35 subscribers away from 6,200. Your guys' support has been greatly appreciated throughout all these playoffs so far. Hurricanes will score with 4 minutes left in the game. We'll see if you're right, Daniel. We'll see if you're right. All right. Yeah, guys, let's get to 100 likes. We are at 70 right now. Face-off coming up here now in the Carolina zone. Cousins versus Stahl. Face-off one back then by Ottawa. Yakimchuk takes it around behind the net. Yakimchuk fires it. Saved by Anderson. Puck is still loose. Zetterlund fighting with Walker. Grabbed back then by Stahl on the right side. Tkachuk battling for it as well. In the corner, K'Andre Miller. Back to Marnook. Up top, Stahl to center. One-on-one. It's Carrier. He'll get around Yakimchuk. Fires it wide of Lowmark. Aho. Up top. Jarvis to Miller. Miller over then into the zone. Grabbing it back is Aho on the right side. Shoots it. That one's tipped wide. Keeping it in then to Svechnikov. Svechnikov will get around behind the net, pass in front. Aho, a good chance there, broken up. Aho, up top, shot on there as well into the chest of Olmark. Flyers game should be good, yep. Face-off coming up here now in the Ottawa zone. Shots 23-18 in favor of the Sens. They played the Hurricanes well, but got to get the goals. Face-off here in the Ottawa zone is won back by the Senators. Montemalo battling for it on the right side then with Pinto. Pinto fighting with Cousins. Montemalo for Clevin. Amadio then will clear it back to center. Here's Aho on the right circle. Pass in front, broken up. And I think Clevin nearly put it in his own net. Penalty coming up here. And I think it's against the Sens again. Another power play coming up for the Hurricanes with 11:40 to go here in regulation. Oh, yeah, he knocked Svech down good. Another power play coming up here for the Hurricanes. Ottawa is 8 for 8 on the penalty kill in this series. Will that stay the same? Go Canes. Power play for Carolina. Face off in the Ottawa zone. Stahl will win it back up top. Stankoven. Stankoven to Blake. Blake over then for Hall. Jackson Blake trying to move it to center. Hall in front. And Miller, a good chance, is blocked. Stankoven gets it back at the point. Back over to Jackson Blake. Blake to Hall. Hall to Blake. A shot. Saved by Olmark. Rebounds there. And covered up as Hall continued to jab it on him. But it stays out. Yeah, this is Carolina's 5th power play. There's been 13 total power plays tonight. 13. Including 3 different 5-on-3s. The amount of power plays has been absolutely, unheard of. Face-off in the Ottawa zone. It's Pinto versus Stahl. The face-off is won back by Carolina. Blake up top to Stankoven. Jackson Blake on the right side. Down low, Hall. Pass in front. Denied by Olmark. He makes the save. Another massive save for Linus Olmark, keeping the season alive for Ottawa. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. We'll get another face-off here in the Ottawa zone. It's been constant opportunities in front for the Canes, and Olmark's made the saves. The face-off in the Ottawa zone is a tie-up, so we will try that again. Stankoven will take the draw against Eller. Face-off is a tie-up there and won back by the Canes. Miller to Stankoven. Up top, JT Miller. Miller down low then for Blake. Blake to Miller. Cross-ice pass, Hall. Hall to Miller. Miller shoots it. Wide rebounds in front. They score! Logan Stankoven again! And the Canes take a 2-1 lead. 10:50 to go in regulation. Logan Stankoven, who's been the difference maker the entire series, puts Carolina ahead. Oh my goodness. At every turn, the Canes keep on coming back. It's Stankoven from Miller and Hall. And that line for Carolina on yet again another power play comes through. Face off here now in the Ottawa zone. Batherson tries to dump it down low. Through center with that puck, Jarvis. Battling forward now with Clevin. Jarvis. Battling forward up top then. Slavin. On the right side. Down low then for Svechnikov. Svechnikov. Battling forward in the corner with Fogle. Pass in front, broken up. Stützle. Fighting with Jarvis. Down low in the corner then Clevin. Right side. Kept it by the Canes. Svechnikov a shot. That one's denied. Jarvis. Battling forward now with Stützle down low. Montempalo off the boards to center. We are halfway through period number 3. Stützle. In his own end, back to center. Tkachuk was waiting there, battling for that puck. It's cleared all the way back down low into the Senators' end. Spence fighting alongside Taylor Hall. Cousins is down low as well. Canes trying to get that puck free here in the Ottawa end. Cousins to Gilbert. Gilbert pass to center, broken up then by the Canes. Miller to center. We'll dump it here into the Ottawa zone. And getting it back is Gilbert. 9:10 to go in the third. Puck is cleared back into the Carolina zone, and that'll be another icing. Don't forget, at the conclusion of this game, it's going to start in a couple minutes, but at the conclusion of this game, we will go live for Stars and Wild. And after that, Flyers and Penguins. It's a triple header here on the channel. Logan Stankoven. Through his legs as well. Face out one with the Canes. Shut on. Saved by Ullmark. Nine minutes to go here in the third period. We will step aside and head to commercial break. Canes lead the Sens 2-1. Ottawa needs a miracle. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. It has been one hell of a hockey game so far tonight. Oh my goodness. Philly and Carolina will be a great series. That'd be fun. Dallas, Minnesota hasn't started yet. Yeah, but it's probably going to overlap. Especially if Ottawa ties it. The trio of the Stankoven, Hall, and Blake line for Carolina has contributed to 7 of the 9 goals by Carolina in this series. Unreal. 2-on-2 the other way. Stützle battling for them with Gostisbehere. On the right side then Spence. Down low to the corner then for Batherson. Kachuk. Cleared back down low into the corner. Batherson now battling forward with Gostisbehere. Thrown all the way then to center. Shabbat. Off the boards then. Batherson battling forward with Gostisbehere. Cleared away then for Hall, who will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Shabbat in his own end with 8.5 minutes to go. Dumped all the way back into the Carolina end. Slavin on the right side then for the Canes. Slavin will dump this one to center. Carolina kind of trying to look for options here. Ottawa's won 2 of their last 2 game 4s where they've trailed down 4-0 or down 3-0. So remember, last year they were able to win that game in overtime against Toronto. Tyler Clevin behind the Ottawa net. Clevin looking for options. Back over then for Pinto. Shane Pinto will move it through center. Up top, Giroux to Pinto. Pass in front's broken up. Pinto battling forward alongside Aho. Cleared all the way back to center. Jarvis, 2-on-1 with Svechnikov. He falls on his feet. He got the pass over, though, but broken up. Up top, Svechnikov. Fighting with Pinto. Svechnikov up top then for Gostisbehere. Shot on, goes wide of Ullmark. Svech battling forward with Pinto. In the corner now, Shabbat. Cleared to center. Grabbing it free, that is Amadio. Amadio comes in on the breakaway. Will drop it back then up top and comes back to center. What are you doing, Amadio? Stutzla comes into the zone. He falls on his skates. And now Carolina dumps it back to center. Jankowski into the zone behind the net then for the Canes. Jankowski fires it. Save rebounds there and cleared away. Yakimchuk for Stutzla. 6.5 minutes to go. Into the zone. Tim Stutzla carries it in. Stutzla up top for Ottawa. Fires it. That one's blocked. Grab back then up top. Cousins to Montempalo. Montempalo fires it. Save rebounds there. And on the side of the net, what a stop by Freddie Anderson as Batherson tried to pot his second, but it's cleared away. Here's Cousins. Regrouping now in his own zone. Penalty coming up. And a too many men call here. And I think it's on the Sens. Oh no, it's on Carolina. It's on the Hurricanes. Ottawa power play coming up. This could not have come at a more clutch time. A massive opportunity here for the Ottawa Senators to tie the game up. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. We are 35 subs away from 6,200. We have 75 likes on this commentary. Comment down below. Will the Sens come back and tie, or will the Canes hold on? What do you think? Comment it down below. Will the Sens come back and tie, or will the Canes win? Ottawa's 1 for 8 on the power play tonight. Their 9th of the game. Face off here in the Carolina zone. The 9th power play, which is absolutely nuts. All right, huge face-off here in the Ottawa zone. Kachuk versus Stahl. Face-off is a tie-up. It's won back by Ottawa. Pinto to Yakimchuk. He'll backhand it down low then to Kachuk. Kachuk in the corner, battling forward alongside Chatfield. Chatfield trying to get it free in the corner. Kachuk. Pass in front, broken up then by Carolina. Slavin will dump it down the other way and back into the Ottawa zone. I don't imagine they'll pull Ullmark just yet. Batherson will drop it back, intercepted by the Canes. Here's Slavin, 1-0, denied by Ullmark. A game saver for Linus Ullmark. Pinto on the right side to center. Carolina will dump it back here into the Ottawa zone. Tim Stützle grabs it back then for the Sens. 5 minutes to go here in the third. Halfway through the power play. Up top then Chabot. Chabot fires it on, blocked then by the Canes. They'll move it through center. Here's Walker to Marnook, a chance, and he fanned on the puck. The amount of 2-on-1s and 1-on-0s the Sens have given up on the power play this game is nuts. Here's Giroux to Tkachuk. 40 seconds to go. Tkachuk will throw it back to center where Chabot gets it back. Tkachuk to Giroux. Back down low for Brady Tkachuk. And Stützle could not control that puck. It slides back into the Ottawa zone. 20 seconds to go here on the Senators' power play. 4.5 minutes to go. Giroux dumps it down low. Zetterlund around the right side, then Giroux up top to Cousins, a shot denied by Anderson, and he will cover up. Goaltender checks here on the goaltender stats really quick before we play out the last 4:13. Frederik Andersen, 23 saves on 24 shots, a .958 save percentage. Linus Ullmark, 26 saves on 28 shots, .929. 7 seconds to go on the Ottawa power play. The face-off here in the Carolina zone, it's Stahl versus Gregg. Face-off is a tie-up there. Carolina will try and poke check at the center. It's kept in barely. Here's Yakimchuk. Broken up there down low in the corner. Thrown up top, then penalty expires. A 3-on-2 the other way for Carolina. Taylor Hall gets it down low in the corner with 4 minutes to go. Zetterlund through center. Fabian Zetterlund brings it into the zone. Broken up by Stankoven. They'll play it ahead. Here's Hall. 1-on-1 with Spence. Hall can't get around him. And Spence will dump it down low. Chabot for Zetterlund. Grabbed back then by Blake. Blake will chip it here now through center. Grab back on the right side then by Spence. Jordan Spence will hold it down low in the Ottawa zone. 3.5 minutes to go. Amadio through center. Gets it around the Carolina D. Battling forward here now down low in the corner. On the right side, Fogle now fighting with Stankoven. Gostisbehere trying to clear it to center. Kept just in barely by the Sens. It slides it on Anderson, who will play it off the boards. It's kept in, though, by Ottawa. Amadio battling forward on the right side. 3 minutes to go. Puck will slide back to center. Getting it down low is Clevin. Clevin ahead then for Spence. Clevin in the Ottawa zone. Drops it back for Stützle. Tim Stützle now will circle around Jankowski. Back into the zone. Keep an eye out for Ullmark. Stützle down low to Batherson. On the right side then Tkachuk. Empty net for Ottawa. Canes will get it to center. It's Aho. He splits the D. He'll fire into the empty net. And Carolina takes a 3-1 lead with 2:22 to go. Empty net goal for Sebastian Aho makes it a 3-1 lead for the Hurricanes with 2:22 remaining here in regulation in Game 4. Sebastian Aho, his 36th career postseason goal. And it looks like Carolina may move on. Face-off here at center is won back then by Carolina. Chatfield will dump it down low. We'll play out the last few moments here. Stützle for Batherson. Battling for it then with Stahl. Batherson will give it up then for Stützle. Assist on that goal, Jarvis and Walker. I assume Ottawa will pull the goaltender here again in a moment. Shot on, denied by Anderson. Am I going to do the Wild game? Yes. Once this game is over, I will go over to that game. Again, Stars and Wild coming up after the end of this game. I will end this stream and start a new one. I will end this stream and start a new one. But I have to wait till this one's over. That's only fair to the Canes and the Sens fans. Face off in the Carolina zone, won by Ottawa. Down low behind the net, then Batherson. In front, they score! Dylan Cousins cuts the lead in half. And don't look now, 1:49 to go. It's 3-2. I did not hear no bell. It is not over yet. Great response there by Dylan Cousins. And suddenly it's a 3-2 hockey game. It is not over yet. Dylan Cousins from Batherson and Giroux, a multi-point game for Batherson with just under 2 minutes to go. It's 3-2. Olmark's going to go to the bench. Cleared back down low, Yakimchuk battling for it on the right side then with Chatfield. Kachuk up top. Stutzla fires it wide. It's blocked. Puck will slide back to center. Tim Stutzla regrouping around now at center ice. 1.5 minutes to go. Stutzla battling for it with Cousins. Slavin will take it back. Chatfield will pass it up top. Aho is there for the empty net, and he will hit it again. Sebastian Aho, 2 empty net goals, and it's 4-2 Carolina. And this time, that should be the dagger. And yeah, slow backhand into the back of the net. All right. Shots are 30-27 in favor of Carolina. We'll wind down the last minute 15 here before we transition over. A minute 15 left to go in regulation. Face off at center. Down low then, Thomas Chabot. Chabot on the right side to center. A minute to go here in this third period. Net is empty. Chabot moves it through center. Off the boards then for Batherson. Broken up then by the Canes, who will fire it down the other way. This time, not into the empty net. And it'll be an icing. Again, I remind you guys, we'll be live. Stars and Wild coming up here in a second. Going to play out these last 47 seconds. Then we will end this stream and start a new one. And get on over to Stars and Wild. And a little studio update in that game. Jason Robertson opened up the scoring. Another power play goal for Dallas. It's 1-0 in that game currently. Ottawa's going to call their timeout. Try and write up a strategy here. See what they can do. That's the smart play. Definitely the smart play for sure. Subscribe down below if you're new. We're at 79 likes as well. All right. This series has been absolutely nuts. Even though it was a sweep, and even though the games were kind of close, Ottawa never led in the entire series. In the entire series, they didn't lead once. Cleared back down low into the Carolina zone. Aho battling forward with Batherson. We let the time wind down. 40 seconds to go. Aho to Stahl. Will backhand this one down the other way. It will slide just wide of the empty net. Another icing. Face off again in the Carolina zone. 27 seconds left. Stahl versus Tkachuk. The face off up top. Yakimchuk a shot. That one is blocked. Miller off the boards and back into the Ottawa zone. It'll trickle there and a whistle blown dead yet again for another icing with 16 seconds to go. So again, we'll be live for Stars and Wild coming up here in just a moment. As soon as this game comes to a close, we'll go live for that. The Carolina Hurricanes are going to sweep the Ottawa Senators, and they will advance to the second round with essentially, depending on how long the other series go, maybe a week off. Carolina will dump this one back to center. Carrier, played back by Stahl, will chip it down low. The time will wind down. And the Hurricanes defeat the Senators by a final score of 4-2. And they will advance to the second round. 8 straight seasons with a postseason series win. The longest streak since 1984-85 for Montreal. All right, that will do it for me. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned for an analysis on the Ottawa Senators. At the end of the night, we'll make a video talking about them. We are going to transition over to Wild and Stars. That is the next game up here on our commentary schedule. I will end this stream and start a new one. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. I will see you guys in the next stream.